Botham Jean's murderer only gets 10 years in prison. Snoop Dogg is bringing pole dancers to KU. Plus, we have a special guest in the building. You just logged on to Black Twitter.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
Right now.
Whoa.
Right now.
Oh.
You better tune in right now. Right now. Right now.
Right.
Better tune in right now.
Yay! I love it. We didn't sync out here doing it. What's up, y'all?
They didn't tell me it was gonna be a theme song. I was
You're lit.
Listen,
We lit out here.
We got
rhythm. You good? You're
right.
right. You know, I was
Surprises.
bopping.
Exactly. We got all types of surprises.
It's a party.
I love it. How y'all doing today?
I'm good.
I'm Gucci.
Had a good weekend.
Right. I should
I'm
listen. We're gonna get into it, but before we do, welcome you guys. This is Black Twitter, episode 10. I'm glad you guys have been sticking with us. Before we begin, my name is Rocky Harris, and to my left, we're gonna skip you first.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm scared.
The best
Scared.
for last.
Uno card. Scared.
Listen. So Jamie, take it away.
What's up, guys? I missed you. I know you missed me. I'm Jamie Gray.
If you didn't miss her, I know you missed me. It's your boy Jay Lamar.
And we have a very special guest.
Aww.
Come on, we had to save the best for last. Bernard David Jones is in the building.
Hey. Oh, it has like
Bernard.
sound effects and clap. Oh, see, y'all know how to make somebody feel good.
Absolutely. You know, we recognize you from The Mayor. You're on BT's new show. We're going to get into that all later. But first, we have to hit our hot topics because it's been a lot. It's been a crazy week. So, first and foremost, we have Botham Jean and the Amber Guyger case. Obviously, we got, you guys know, I mean, at least I hope you guys know, I've been keeping up with this. Last week, former Dallas police officer Amber Guyger was sentenced to just 10 years in prison with the eligibility to get on parole after serving just 5 years for the murder of Botham. She went into the house and she claims that this was by mistake, but fatally shot him, thinking that he was an intruder. Have you guys heard about this at all?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
Been following it.
It's been a crazy case, but so after the sentencing, Judge Tammy Kemp and Botham's brother Brant gave her an endearing hug, and it kind of sent pretty much everywhere, including Black Twitter, ablaze. It was incredible. And just 2 days later, crazy, Joshua Brown, who was a key witness in this trial, was shot to death at around 10:30 p.m. at not his apartment complex, but he was at an apartment complex. So activist Sean King right now is awarding someone who can help at least $100,000 to find out who murdered Joshua Brown. So just wanted to give you guys a backstory of, if you have not been keeping up, this is probably one of the most heartbreaking stories right now. I mean, we have to take it to Black Twitter, obviously, before we get into our own opinions. But Cameron Moore said no one in that courtroom hugged Joshua Brown when he broke down crying on the witness stand. Instead, they hugged and coddled the murderer, while 2 black men died at her expense. And that, folks, is the first-class white supremacy right there. Justice for Joshua Brown.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's
a mouthful right there.
Yeah,
Right.
that entire...
For sure.
How did you guys think? What have you guys been keeping up with it? When you first heard about it, what were your thoughts?
Well, like for me, I've been, keeping up with it, of course. And when they said that she was convicted, everybody was really excited where I was. And so the next thought was, well, how long?
Yeah.
How many years is she gonna get? And when it came out with 10, it wasn't shocking, which is shocking. Come on, like we knew it wasn't gonna be what it should be. I mean, there are people who are in jail for much less with more time. You know what I'm saying? So just the world that we live in, this America. I mean, I was hoping for more. I mean, she's a murderer.
Exactly.
Like, she didn't not do it. She is a murderer.
This is how I feel about the situation. It's a sad and terrible situation that 2 people's lives had to be taken. Hers and the person she killed. It's a very sad situation. On the other hand, she is a murderer, but she accidentally shot him. I don't think it was intentional.
No.
You don't think it was intentional?
I don't think it was intentional. Do I think that she was scared when she walked into a black man's house and there was a black man there? Yes. Do I think if it was a white man, would she have said, oh my gosh? Probably.
Well, let's throw out some things. It was lit in his room. His TV was on.
Yeah, he was watching TV, eating ice cream.
He has a red mat outside his door. You go to the same place every single day. I'm sorry. And you was texting your lover who was also at that same department before and after you shot him.
Right.
And then you lied in court and said that you tried to revive him, but an investigator had said that if that were the case, there would have been blood all over you if you tried to help him.
Exactly, yeah.
So my thing is, I don't think this was accidental. I think, especially with Joshua dying now,
Exactly.
I don't think this was.
So what do you think? Like,
well,
the reason why,
because I want to get into my opinion
sorry,
too,
go ahead,
because it pisses me off because I feel like with her, they're accepting these boohoo tears, you know, giving her this sympathy or this empathy, I guess you could say. If you're a cop, you're trained when you go into somewhere how to enter that room. So just like Rocky said, you see the red mat, you can say, you know what? I don't think I have a red mat. This may not be where I live.
Right, exactly.
And this, you can tell it's an expensive place. You need a fob. So how the hell did she get in? So I think there's this conspiracy because a lot of people
his door
were saying,
was open. His door was unlocked.
It was like a jar.
Oh, okay. But here's the other thing. When the door closes, it's not one of those doors where it's like, oh, let me just close it. It's going to close on its own.
Right.
And so it's not adding up. And I feel so bad for Joshua Brown because when I see him, and it's not even just the DBZ shirt because everyone knows I'm an anime fan. That shirt alone shows me he did not want to be a part of this case.
Right.
When you're showing up to court in some graphic
Regular.
t-shirt,
Exactly.
and this is so serious, he's just like, listen, here's what happened. I don't want anything to do with this. And it's just so sad that they didn't give him witness protection.
Right.
None of that. So it's just, they literally failed everybody. And then Botham's family, like, what the heck? You made it easier for her. So now they're gonna the court system, they're gonna try to bring this case back up so that she can get less time, and that's what we could have prevented.
And then eligible after 5
That's
years.
crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, and then again, people who have done these same things, like they were gonna give them the stand your ground law in his home,
Right?
Like the fact that the judge was allowing that to happen is just crazy to me. And even with stand your ground, the black woman that shot warning shots at someone
got
20 years.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's in the same place. So we can't say, oh, it's a different state. We can't. It's just all these different excuses for a white woman. And oftentimes, history shows we show more empathy towards white women in their tears, and I'm just not here for it.
Brushing her
But
hair.
in that
Agreed.
situation, like me playing devil's advocate, what do you think her intention was to kill him particularly?
My theory is that they did have some type of romantic something going on. That's why he left the door ajar, and she was texting her boo, and her boo was probably like, take him out. I know that seems super extreme, but this stuff Joshua, this person is now killed. This is 2 days later.
Right.
After she
Shot
gets her
in the
sentence.
mouth.
Yeah, in the mouth and the chest.
To make
That's
sure
what I was
you're
like,
dead.
Yeah.
That's intentional.
To me, something
that is intentional.
That's what I'm
killing is
saying.
intentional.
But
Right.
no, but I mean, but think about this though, Jay Lamar. All these shows that we watch, Power, all these crazy, even Saw. We can
Comes
take
from
it to even
somewhere.
Saw.
Law and Order.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are on it.
Good night. I cannot. Yeah, shout out to Joshua. Out here is doing
I
it.
love you so much.
Right. Out here is doing. But seriously, but like for real, like these real cases are in reality, and they play true to TV that we see, and we don't take it seriously because we've been just so desensitized because we see it every day. Especially if you're in Hollywood, you see homeless people, people on drugs, people probably halfway dead, and we walk past it every day. You know, so. I think that Amber, it was something more than that.
Do you think that they went through her phone and like maybe found his number, or you think they didn't even investigate her?
They probably didn't. Yeah, they probably did. They probably thought like, well, I mean, immediately you're in someone else's home.
She's also a cop, so they're gonna do what they can do to cover up as much as they can cover up. And I just think like, had she been a white man, she probably would have gotten off. But because she is a white woman, that they're like, girl, you got to take something.
Right. It's the layers. It's layers to white supremacy. We'll let the white woman go.
So with his brother hugging her, and then the judge.
Yes,
then
that's
the
the next
judge,
question.
Okay, yeah.
Do you guys feel that it was fair? Because everybody keeps talking about, oh, they're Christians. That's what Christians do. What would you hug the person that killed your brother?
Not right now.
No, I wouldn't either. Here's my
No.
thing for that situation. I feel like whatever he needed and whatever that family needed to move on, fine. Go ahead and do that. Will my family be in the courtroom hugging up on people? Hell no. They want to fight you for sneezing at them.
Exactly.
And the mom said it. The mom was like, I would not be like my son. Literally, and I quote, I would not probably have the reaction that my son had. And it seems like that's always the case in a lot of situations, is the mom is like, no. I'm not like, my child is dead because of you. I'm not giving you a hug. And like I like what you said. Not right now.
Right.
After Joshua Brown, hell no. For sure not.
Yeah.
But now look what happened. It's like it makes them look dumb.
Stupid.
I understand like forgiveness, and I get that, but there's a time and a place, and I feel like it was unnecessary. You can forgive from afar.
Absolutely. I agree.
I think that for him, he needed that in that moment for him to move on. So when don't do it on TV.
Like,
don't do it in front of the
I don't think
camera.
he knew.
But
even then, like, you could have, Send her a
Let's
letter.
wait. Right. Let's wait. Let's
Be a
wait.
pen pal.
I mean, what message does that send? Like, as Black people, we are very quick to forgive and we are very loving. That's just who we are naturally. So what kind of message is that sending to the world? Like, hey, shoot us in the face and we're going to hug you. Like, I don't think it's
sending that particular message.
I just think that based the temperature of the world right now and Black people in it, that does not send a very good message. I just feel like, that's what we do historically. Like, we turn the other cheek. We do that. We love on people. We invite people to our culture when they don't invite us to theirs. Absolutely. Like, that is what we do. Right. You can come to the picnic. That's fine. We love you. But right now, with so many people killing us and so many cops especially killing us, that whole, like, I'm still gonna love you no matter what, that's not what we need.
So do y'all think that if it was a Black man that killed his brother, that he would have hugged him?
This wouldn't even be on national anthem.
But I'm asking a question.
I mean,
so
hypothetical.
If a Black man would have killed his brother, would it have been okay for someone to hug?
Would you have been okay accepting to the fact that he hugged his brother's killer?
I'd be more accepting. I would be more upset. I would.
Yeah.
I would be. I still would think, like, why are you hugging this man?
Right.
But I would be like, okay, let's show some Black love.
It would probably not
in that
strike
moment,
a nerve.
I mean, I would be more forgiving of that
Right.
than having this Black man hug this white woman who has killed his brother.
It's gonna strike a nerve, just like when we talked about other stories. Whenever it's like a white person doing something to us, we feel a type of way of it happening to us. So,
and again,
but then why do we have sympathy for if it's the same person?
Because we have a lot of issues in the Black community.
Right.
We turn a blind eye to so many things within our families and in our communities. We've been doing it for years. So.
But the ratio of Black on Black crime compared to white on Black crime.
But we need to talk about Black on Black crime and the differences between white against Black people. But we cannot hold the same standard to an average citizen that we do for a police officer.
Right.
Police officers are hired to protect and serve. And statistics, y'all got me tripping. Stats show that you kill who you're next to. So if I have a problem with the person, like your bullies in school,
Right.
whoever you had a problem with someone you had in your class, someone you saw at recess, that's just how interactions work. So if you are, like in Chicago, the people who are killing each other are Black people because that's who they live next to.
Right.
So you trying to compare this huge ratio or these numbers or stats to what white people are doing disproportionately to Black people, it's just the argument's just going to be flawed at the end of it. So I mean, to me, I just feel like you said, I agree. Later on down the line, sure, let's have a conversation. But right now, and like you said on TV, it just paints a picture that Black people just gonna lay down. Yeah. And for history, we have. Yeah. We lay down with everything, the N-word, with everything, with our entire culture. We just whatever.
But I think that so my cousin was killed in 2009 by his best friend. His best friend's family and my family got into a fight in the courtroom. And so after that situation, we would have thought that the family would at least rendered us an apology because their son killed our cousin.
Right.
There was no apology. They were mad that we were in court every day fighting for justice for my cousin.
So, but your cousin killed the other person?
No, my cousin was killed by his best friend.
Okay.
So they were mad. And all we really wanted was an apology. Like we're Christians. We know that things happen on God's timing. All we wanted was an apology. We didn't get that.
But also
his best friend literally turned around, stuck his tongue out at us, and laughed.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's just a horrible person.
Yeah.
Right.
So and this is still with the cop, too.
But I think that if I had been in that courtroom and she would have turned around and said, I sincerely apologize,
it would have lessened the blow.
It would have lessened the blow a little bit. Like, I still would have been angry, but it'd be like, okay, damn, at least we got an apology. Like, you acknowledge that you messed up.
But we're just a part of now we're a part of making her look better now. Like, we're a part of romanticizing her a little bit because now we're in the courtroom, we're hugging her, she's crying, the judge is patting her on the back, giving her the Bible. Yeah. So now it's less about this murderer and more about this woman who's in court and she's going away.
Too.
Now she's exactly, and that's what we do.
Yeah, that's all. I think what we're saying, Jay Lamar, is it's bigger than us just being forgiving because our forgiveness is taken for granted
always
by everybody, and so it needs to get to a point where Black people are like, no, we're not going for it anymore.
Right.
It needs to be on the revolution will not be televised.
I know, but it's almost like you're
stuff.
saying that if we would have went in that courtroom and turned that boy upside down and threw a chair at her, I think that you would be more.
No, it didn't need to happen at all. He didn't need to do
She just needed to get sentenced, go to jail, and
be
go.
done.
Be gone.
We don't need no
Tell her she got.
It's not about fighting. It's not about even just apologizing. The court case is done.
Right. And
Case is
She's
finished.
been tried.
And now that's why they've sent in a complaint to the judge, because it's like, why are you coddling this person? You didn't turn to the family and give them no hug. You literally are like, oh my God, this poor white woman.
Right.
She's going through so much. She just killed someone.
Yeah, how many murders are we hugging? Like,
Exactly.
That's what exactly. Period.
No.
And again, it don't even matter, girl. Take them 10 years. I hope you
And I
don't get
hope
on
she do all
parole.
Hope
10
you get
of
more.
them.
Okay, act up and get 5 more. But no, so I'm sorry. Yeah, I know that's hard life. But yeah, so next up, something a little bit lighter is Snoop Dogg bringing pole dances to
Come
the
on.
University of Kansas. Okay, out.
Pull over that.
But Jay Lamar, tell us all about it.
So Snoop Dogg was scheduled to perform at KU, and instead of bringing teddy bears and gummy bears to the PG performance, he brought the money gun.
Yes.
He brought the strippers.
Look.
And he brought the pole.
I am not mad.
I am here for it. These are college students.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say too.
Look.
Homecoming's coming up?
Yeah, so KU
Yeah.
was very offended because they say they talked to his management team and they explained to his management team that this needed to be a very PG performance. Snoop Dogg didn't get the message.
Wow.
But this is my thing. During setup, nobody went into the auditorium and seen the pole.
Thank you.
It was like, nah.
Like, you know, what are we about to do? You think Snoop about to twirl around a pole?
No.
That ain't Snoop. That ain't Snoop.
But wait, she is dropping it
Like,
low,
dropping it
baby.
low.
But she's not like
With
naked.
the KU shirt on.
No.
She got the KU shirt?
No.
Oh yeah, they got them jersey shirts, little crop top.
You know, it's funny. It's Josh in the booth. You got to wonder, do you think that pole dancer is actually a student from there? Or do you think it's just like a random...
maybe.
You know what? She might be. I hope
she
he paid her
could be
tuition.
Everybody gotta make a living.
Maybe.
What if she isn't dance? Exotic dancing is a career.
It is.
You know,
No disrespect.
More
I'm just
power.
wondering
Might
if she's
not
an
be
actual
honest,
student
but-
or not. That's
Right.
something
I would hope that he would have auditioned students. That would have been a better look.
That would have been a
Better
gag.
Better than work study, okay? Okay, I was better
Look,
work
listen.
study.
I was in college.
Sign
I
me
was
up.
going work study.
Listen, okay,
Auditions.
books and busy, okay? So, okay,
They
go ahead.
also hired Snoop Dogg for PG-13.
Come on.
It's
Exactly.
the Midwest, though, y'all. I will say that. It's the Midwest, and this is KU, one of the...
Well, they said in previous years they had like young Yachty, Lil Yachty, and like Gucci and stuff like
And they
that.
gave PG
So,
performances? Okay.
I can see them just rapping. They probably more so just rap.
Okay.
And
But
walk
Snoop
around.
Dogg, they said in his agreement they agreed that he wouldn't cuss. That, you know, it would be a very PG performance, but it's Snoop Dogg.
Right.
Right.
This is
right.
somebody that rolled down the
LBC.
street smoking,
Yeah.
You know
drinking
what?
gin and juice.
Right.
All of it.
They back.
He opened the door, it's smoke coming clouds.
Exactly.
Right.
You
It's
know
Snoop
it.
Dogg.
Oh, we got the performance, so
Okay.
yeah, let's look at the performance.
I cannot deal.
I'm ready. That's my song, too. Hey.
Up on
Honestly, I gotta say, as someone that saw Snoop perform like a couple years ago, like
got the money
honestly,
gun.
the performance is great and everything, but if they're expecting someone like as far as just like Snoop's like pedigree to do a PG-13 show, they're not gonna get it.
Right.
When I went to
No.
go see them, it was just nothing but marijuana smoke in the air, and it was awesome. Like the
Sounds
performance
amazing.
was
You sound like the students,
know.
because the students loved it.
exactly.
They love- and this is my thing. I'm wondering though, in that money gun was that real cash?
Okay,
Because
that
then
would've
he's
been
giving
front and
back. Because he's giving back to
shut
me.
up, Jay Lamar.
I'll be right there. We'd be fighting
Exactly.
for that money. We got
Right.
Right.
This is
Jumps
Bongo.
down onto the floor. Wow.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I'm ready for the
worth it.
strippers.
Right, we're all yay
Yeah,
for this.
so-
I don't really see anything wrong with it though. I know they are more like a conservative school, but it's not like she was naked,
Right.
pasties.
Yeah.
Like it's just a pole. And
That was just some
honestly,
girls dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, at that
they got
point.
pole
They do that
dancing
at the club
classes.
anyway.
Wait,
Exactly.
we used to do that in our dorm rooms.
It's interpretive art. It's interpretive
Yes.
art.
Come on, Josh said interpretive art.
Right.
I cannot deal.
So let's take it to Black Twitter. Jamel Hill wasn't. I think she was kind of on the fence about it. She said, "I'm here for Snoop blowing up the spot in Kansas and giving them all the blackness that they didn't ask for. But it's a perfect snapshot of the NCAA hypocrisy and also how schools use eye candy and extravagance to hypnotize young athletes." So we talked about this a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago about how you guys felt like they take our black athletes and they monetize off of them and they really don't give back.
Right.
So she was saying that in that statement that was pretty much another situation.
Right. KU said, get your black behind up out of here. We don't want your back.
It's safe to say that KU will not probably have a black performer next year.
Yeah.
And
Taylor Swift will be there.
We will take our money elsewhere.
Taylor Swift will be in there.
Or maybe not.
Irish.
You know, right. She's like, I'm going to love this.
Bring us
like,
Carrie
I will not.
Underwood.
Exactly.
Also, we have a second tweet. So Roy Wood said, in defense of Kansas City, Snoop Dogg just won a BT Gospel. This was an honest mistake. They paid for Gospel Snoop and they got paid.
I cannot.
I don't know what you heard about me. That's what they said.
Listen, but no, I'm
I am here for it. That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's
It's college.
If I was there, I would have been very happy.
Me too.
I've been very happy.
They said the students was pleased. That's all that matters.
Right. Well, speaking of marijuana, we got to...
Ooh.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. A mother was smoking in Tennessee. And she. My thing is, why did they record this? I don't get it.
Well,
so yeah, Jamie.
So she posted a video on Facebook Live. This woman is a 24-year-old mother from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Her name is Tybresha Sexton.
Say that one more time.
Tybresha.
Spell it.
Sexton.
Don't even.
You know what? Sound it out, y'all. Google. But I mean, you know, this woman, you guys, she's being charged with aggravated child abuse after a 43-second Facebook Live video went viral. She is smoking a blunt that I'm sure she rolled herself.
She sure
and as
did.
you can see in her left hand, she is carrying her baby like a dumbbell, okay?
So scary.
And she's literally putting the baby up like this, twirling the baby, and then she's, the baby's falling on the pillow.
And that's a newborn.
Very careless.
That's a newborn.
It is a newborn. That baby is very young, and it's actually the baby is 1 month old.
Take that baby.
Yeah.
Take the baby.
Take that baby.
And so her neighbors, they were appalled. The people that watched the video, they were really upset. So they all made these reports to police. Ooh. So when they arrested her, first of all, she resisted arrest. They said that she smelled like alcohol. There were plenty of alcohol bottles all over the living room. And so she says she didn't want that effing baby anyway.
No.
And she says she already told them that, allegedly, right? This is from the affidavit. And then she says, yeah, bitch, I said it.
She going through postpartum.
And so, there's all in the affidavit.
She going through postpartum.
Oh my gosh.
Possibly because she looked very crazy in her mugshot.
She
does. That wig.
And you know, within our community, women that go through postpartum isn't heavily addressed.
Yeah, it's not taken
because
seriously.
Black women, you guys are taught to, you'll be okay, girl.
strong.
Go.
Right.
You got this. Have that baby.
I mean,
girl.
and they don't talk about it because like they feel like after, right? Come on, but I feel like after you have your baby, it's your pride and joy. They want you to bounce back, and it's like it's just not always like that.
Yeah.
But in this situation, I'm just gonna judge. Okay, I feel like she is that typical, hood girl that lives not in the best situation.
Gutter.
And it's affected her everyday
only
living.
child.
Right.
Because here's my thing. This girl's 24. I don't even think she can afford her own place because she's coming out of a house. I think that she probably lived with her mom. And so the baby is now with the girl's mom. So she's with her grandmother. So I'm like, the mother probably already knew that her daughter was drinking and smoking. This looks like it's probably not even her own place where she lives.
If she lives with her mama, you don't smell that smoke and then a baby in the room too?
But there's mothers like that. That's what I'm saying. Hood shit. Hood crap. Like it's just, it happens.
That's crazy.
But are we okay with with the baby going to the mom?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't even think the baby is safe with the mom because the mom is aware. Your daughter's probably on drugs. Your daughter's probably going through all these things.
Does she have other children?
No, she does not. Okay. But I want to know, do you guys think that this woman deserves this child or the punishment that she's receiving, going to jail?
How much time does she get?
So they haven't said. They just said that there's a bail, I think, of $100,000.
Okay.
Yeah, but they didn't say exactly if she's out or not.
Because she'll probably get more time for resisting arrest than she will for child endangerment.
Yeah. Right.
So also I have a question. Do you guys feel like people even fully understand what child abuse is? Because why would she even think that that's okay to post on Facebook?
Well,
she thought it was okay.
We could go into a real deep one, but okay, I got switched, and that's technically child abuse today. Like y'all know a switch?
Yeah. I mean, I got beat too.
Oh.
Then I'm about to be like, you from my round?
At first I thought you said
switch that bar. Right. I was about to say, bro, that's a whole nother show.
Hey, I'm weak. No,
I was ready for that. I'm like, oh, Rocky, we gotta talk about that.
What in the lifetime?
I was like, they switched
News break?
No.
They were beating poor baby Rock. Oh, goodness.
No, Rocky, I was like, wait a minute.
No,
my heart dropped.
We say switch. A switch is a real thin
like go get
branch.
the switch.
Yes, but we say you getting switched.
We have
I'm
belts.
from
I used to get
Missouri,
belts
so
all
maybe
over my
I'm a little
legs.
too far south.
You know,
I mean, that's technically abuse, right? But
not back in our day.
Right.
That was how we were disciplined.
Right.
You know?
I don't want to beat my kids. I can't say if I will or not, but I don't want to.
You said I'm moving forward with new.
Exactly. It's gonna be a little hard, but but okay, yeah. I just hope that the baby's safe. But do I think the baby's safe with the grandmother?
No,
ma'am,
not at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Tybrisha, I wish you the very best.
right.
Tybrisha needs some help.
Okay,
Yes.
but we do have some quick mentions. Unfortunately, we hate to report this news, but Diane Carroll has died at the age 84. She was an American actress, singer, model, and activist. She rose to prominence in some of the earliest major studio films to feature black cast, including Carmen Jones and Porgy and Bess. So,
Legend.
shout out to
Legend.
If y'all don't know who
Legendary.
she is, then
She
you need to
paved
know.
the way.
Paved
Open the doors.
Right, the godmother of Shade.
Yes.
So, but
And that's
yeah.
period.
And so beautiful.
She really
So
is.
gorgeous.
That's why I had to do a little throwback. I had to have her,
What's your favorite role?
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm
I
saying
don't
when she was
know.
what you call a wife on Jimmy's, not Jimmy, what you call his wife on the 5 Heartbeats.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
how
a
you
classic
know
too.
we young.
I got the old DVD.
That's like
I got no VHS.
She wasn't back in the day, y'all. So if you don't know and you 14 and you don't know who this is, that's okay.
Go Google her.
Google,
Yeah.
Google
Google her.
is your friend. But we also have a major shout out for Tyler Perry. He got his
Yes.
Hollywood star.
He did
Amazing. But also on top of that, he debuted his Atlanta studios, his film studios, which is
Yes.
so beautiful. First of
amazing.
all, we gotta get into it.
Yeah.
Tyler
Please.
Perry opened his Tyler Perry Studios over the weekend. Many celebs came to support his mega movie. As
Many,
Perry-
all celebs.
Listen,
Beyonce was there.
Beyonce said she couldn't stop crying.
Cicely Tyson,
Literally
everybody.
everybody. And he's now the first African American actor, director, writer, producer to own a studio outright with no partners or corporate backing.
Yep.
So
Congrats. And he's only 50 years old. That's what I'm
great.
telling you.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
I know he's
So
doing
Like,
amazing.
his
beautiful.
studio is so big that they can take like 3 of the studios out here, like Paramount, Fox, or whatever, and put it on
Yeah.
That's
his lot.
amazing.
It's crazy.
The
Books and
pictures
So
were
big.
beautiful.
He's taking Hollywood back to Atlanta.
No, really, ownership.
Yeah.
Teach ownership.
Yes.
Own your own stuff, okay?
sure.
But yes, we have to get into a special interview segment.
Oh no.
Yes, no.
It's me.
Yes,
Oh,
we have
okay.
to. I'm gonna say,
Bum, bum.
but Bernard,
Yeah, I'm here.
you've been in the game. You
I'm
writing
trying.
too? No, but you're on a new show.
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
So the new show that I'm doing right now is on a streaming platform called Echo, which is all about interactive television. So you get to choose how the story goes.
That's so
know.
dope.
I've seen something like that before.
So if you saw like Bandersnatch on Netflix, it's like that, but a little more in depth. It's called Scroll Wheel of Time. Well, right now it's called Scroll Wheel of Time. It may change because people getting it mixed up with Wheel of Time, which is coming out as well. And I play a character named Xandre. And my co-star is Lacey Mosley, and she plays Queen. And we are 2 rappers who are trying to become better rappers.
What's your name on the show again?
Xandre.
Oh, you and Tybisha, y'all related.
Me and Tybisha. We go to the same cookout.
Right.
Wow.
The character's full name is Queen Coochie.
Oh, so what is
Kucci.
So tell us
Like
the
Gucci.
backstory of it. What's it about?
So it's about these 2 rappers who aren't very good, and so they're given this time machine to go back in time to visit all the different eras of music to get inspired by some of our great artists to become better rappers for their show that they're having. So you get to take us through our little journey, and it's about, I think, 8 to 10 episodes, but it's like up to 2 hours of footage if you went back and did everything, in one sitting.
That's a lot of acting though, because you have to.
I mean,
That's like 4 or 5 scripts for one episode. You got to read because it
It's
go this
crazy.
way, that way, that way.
It's crazy. The script is set up in a way that I've never seen. They're set up in like columns. So you have like a little bit of a scene, and then you have what we call conditional. So if you choose, she decides to hit the man in the face, then we have a whole section about that. If she decides to go home and never come back, we have a whole section about that.
That's awesome.
So it's crazy. Like literally one scene we did 100 times, 100 takes.
Oh, whew.
Yes,
Ooh.
and it was like a concert scene, so we had to like, be up
Yeah.
and
Right.
performing, and we had to do it 100 times.
So you can rap.
That's crazy.
No,
Who'd you get
See-
your inspiration from?
in terms of
Like as far as rapping, who were like, you know what? I'm gonna study this person.
I don't know. I was just like, I'm gonna just talk. No, because if that was the case, I would have had the strippers outside.
Right.
You know, literally.
Okay.
I did like for my audition. I did like the most basic rap. But I mean, we're not supposed to be good rappers, so that helps.
Because y'all coming up.
Right, we on the come up, and so yeah, no, I wasn't very good. So.
Oh,
It's okay.
it's okay.
You know,
Have you gotten better?
Blossoming.
No, because I'm not really trying.
Right. It's like, listen, I'm an actor.
I'm an actor. I'm not trying to rap. I'm not trying to come for drink.
But
Right.
you do write.
I do write, yes.
And so, how is that juggling both of those crafts?
It's challenging because you want to make sure that you put your focus. If you're doing your work, you want to make sure that you're focused there and you're doing your very best for that project. But you also want to do your very best for your own stuff and things that you're writing. So the juggling is kind of hard. Like sometimes on break when I'm at the show, I'll go and I'll pull up my computer and try to write something down. You know, even though I know it's probably not going to be the best thing or it's probably not going to make it in, but it's just good to kind of just be in the practice of writing.
Right.
Absolutely. No, I dig it. I
That's
love it.
dope. So you know my homegirl, Yvette Nicole Brown.
You know I love her.
I was
We
gonna
from the same hood.
You from Cleveland?
I'm from Cleveland. Oh, damn.
not you in this.
Look, you repping Cleveland hard.
Yes.
You got the
Okay.
shoulders shrugged.
Let people know where I'm from.
Okay, no, we got to get Yvette, on here, Soror.
Yes.
Yeah. That's my
know?
homegirl. Like I love her so much. We've just become really good friends.
Y'all just did a movie together on BET.
We did a movie together on
Yes.
BET called Always a Bridesmaid.
Yeah.
She wrote it, and she was literally like, "Hey, all of my friends that I love, would you like to be in a movie that I wrote 20 years ago?" And
Wow.
But see, that's how
That's
it be, though.
amazing.
It be like that.
and it was great because I got to reunite with some of the mayor, people. So
Yeah.
Brandon, Michael Hall, and Marcel Spears, we all got back together. It was like getting the gang back together.
Yes.
It was just-
And if you don't know those actors, they're from The Mayor.
Yes,
So,
Brandon is on God Friended Me right now, and Marcel's on The Neighborhood.
That's
So
awesome. That's
Everybody's
Great.
working.
Everybody, that's awesome.
I love the trailer too. I was like, this feels like my life. I'm not always a bridesmaid, but I'm just like, and I loved how she was like, so do you even date? And I'm like, ooh, I feel attacked right now.
She read your life. She read
Yeah,
your life.
just a little bit.
It was
Yeah.
great, man. Like it was a great script, and everybody just had a really good time, and she was just as lovely as she always is. So.
Yeah, no, Yvette is cool people. Very dope.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think it's still showing on BET somewhere. I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm sure. No, absolutely. We're going to check it out. Definitely check it out.
Yes.
Support
Please.
people,
Please,
everybody.
please.
Well, thank
Yes.
you so much for joining us. And
Thank you for having me.
we're going to get
Yes.
into our signature segments now.
Uh-oh.
So we got retweet or delete today. Right now, I was like, okay, because we switch it up, but we have our topic of the week that's going to be consistent. But today, for this episode, we have retweet or delete.
The topic of the week is light.
Yes,
I'm
okay,
excited.
I'm glad. Yes,
It's
yes.
light.
I'm so excited. Now, I'll be like, I'm gonna just throw something at y'all.
I'm
I don't know
excited for the surprise.
I love
Okay.
that it's called Twopic.
Yeah.
At first, that was dragging me. Jalen was dragging me at first. I don't like that.
I don't like that.
Right, and I'm like, listen, it's gonna be cute. 'Cause
Twopic.
Black Twitter, Twopic. I'm
love it.
I'm
I'm
corny
here.
like that. But yeah, so Jay Lamar, let us know.
Yeah,
what's going
retweet or
on.
delete. So Real Talk Cam, y'all know Real Talk Cam?
Yeah, she got on my nerves one time.
So for BJ, because this is your first time doing retweet or delete, he's gonna
Yes.
show you
Yeah,
different.
we have 2 tweets, so you either retweet or delete.
Okay.
Real simple. For people at home, retweet or delete.
Right, comment, share.
So Real Talk Kim says, pay attention. Sometimes the person giving you the medicine is the one that's making you sick.
Facts, retweet.
retweet.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm sure the Aries would say that.
Wait, what do you mean?
What you saying, Cancer?
Sometimes the person giving you the medicine is the one make. Oh yeah, I get that. I know some people who are in some toxic situations, and they make you sick, and then they be like, "Oh, baby, give you medicine," and then toxic again. So I'm gonna go ahead and retweet.
And some people just don't want you to do better.
They
You know what I
don't.
mean?
They
Like they don't
don't.
have your best intentions. Y'all seen The Sixth Sense when the when the
haven't.
mom was let me
Oh,
not
no, I'm
spoil it. You need
sorry.
to-
I'm sorry.
gotta watch
It was
it.
on
You gotta-
Netflix.
It's a classic. Just go ahead and spoil it.
See, now- okay.
I'm sorry.
Where the mom was poisoning the stepdaughter with the soup.
Oh, damn.
That was crazy.
They don't want you to be great.
Woo. Anyway, next.
Okay. This one is from our homegirl, Shells Yvette.
Hey,
Shells. I cannot stop obsessing over everything Tyler Perry related right now.
Facts.
I am overjoyed with emotion and God's infinite goodness. I just,
No, that's me. Literally, the GIF is me. I don't know if it's GIF or GIF. I was crying reading, like, the captions and looking at the pictures because, like, I was literally crying. I was like, you know what? I can do this. Like, it just gave me so much inspiration. Just see all this melanin, all this beautiful black excellence. It was so amazing.
And it's like God's timing is the best timing. You got to think this man been doing this for years.
Literally, when nobody was coming to his shows.
When nobody was coming to his shows. He was selling fried chicken to get people to the shows. And look at him now. Like, that's amazing.
Out here doing it.
It also proves that you provided for us. We will support.
Yes.
We'll show up. We'll be like, we are the ones who watch the most television. We are the ones who go to the movies the most. Like, you put it out there for us, we will support.
I'm just excited to see how much more history will be created on that lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there. Y'all gonna see me there too.
Come on, I'm getting a star.
And he ain't got to answer to nobody.
He ain't got to answer to nobody.
He is the boss.
He is. If he's single.
Wow.
I'm Jay Lamar.
Oh my God. No, I'm Jay Lamar.
I'm 31, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm tired of being a bridesmaid.
Right. Wow. Let your DMs be hot tomorrow. I'm weak as hell.
You're
Good
so
night.
silly.
Shoot my shot.
Was this your last one or no?
That was it. Yeah,
okay. So we got to get into our topic of the week.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Ooh.
So
I was trying to get the beat.
the conversation is, should relationships be 50-50? Relationships are beautiful when you are dating when you are not dating a liability who only knows how to ask and not give anything in return. You see yourself grow all around. You are able to save while having enough to spoil your partner. Love is sweet when both parties are making the effort to win.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Nope.
Surface.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
But you can go first if you want.
Well, because she ready. She wrote this in her journal. She was like, I'm about to.
Oh, she has notes in her phone.
Lord. My husband.
I feel like we should be giving the same amount of effort. Now, will we be 50-50 all the time at the same time? I don't think so. I mean, there may be times where it is 70-30 or 60-40, but I feel like as long as we're giving the effort towards what we're building or what we're working on, then it's not a big deal to be like, oh, we need to be 50-50.
Yeah.
Right.
I buy you a gift, you need to buy me a gift.
Exactly.
I don't think that's it. I think that sometimes, especially like if you're in a relationship with a performer or anything, if your job is building you up and you are the successful one at this moment, then it is not 50-50 because then that person now has to support.
Yes,
Exactly.
I agree. I retweet that. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, because things change. So I don't think that you can have anything 50-50 all the time.
Right.
And I was going to say, just to kind of piggyback off what you were saying, if everything's tit for tat, how is that even love?
Right.
There's going to be some things that I may not be able to do. Like, okay, not every woman is going to want to take out the trash, but maybe sometimes I will. But if we're tit for tat, I just feel like that's not even a relationship. I think instead of putting 50-50, give all of you, give 100-100 because you're only giving me half of you. I want all of you.
Okay.
As a relationship coach and dating expert and matchmaker, you know what I'm saying? What I'm going to say about this issue is, I feel like you can never give your complete self to somebody. I feel like there are going to be times where you fall short. We are both two imperfect people trying to create a perfect situation, and sometimes our perfect situation isn't going to be so perfect. So in some situations, I feel like, yes, I may fall short. I'm gonna give you my 50, but sometimes it might be 10. Sometimes I ain't got nothing to give. We are all out here hustling, trying to make it. Don't look at me like that.
She like, no,
but
give me 100.
I feel like sometimes we're out here trying to make it, and sometimes we put all our effort and energy into our crafts. That yes, when it comes to relationships, we may fall short. So I know personally, like for me, in my dating experiences, I do have people that are saying, dang, you ain't giving me nothing today. And I'm like, sorry, I don't have it to give, but I gave it to myself first. I am my first responsibility.
Hello.
And I think that's okay, but I think also don't ever forget the key word is the effort.
Yeah.
If you're saying, man, I just don't have it 10% today, what is tomorrow going to be like? It's like you have to figure out how to bounce back. And if we're a partnership, why are we not talking about these things? How can I assist? That's where I'm putting in my effort, where I'm like, okay, I'll give you 110 today because you need that. So I feel like, there's got to be that balance, but 50-50 to me is just not giving your all. What are we in this for?
Right. But I feel like all of us are strong-minded, and it's hard for us all to ask for help. So we all definitely need somebody that's not going to make us ask as much, but is just going to show up and give us what we need.
Question: how does y'all's first dates go? And eventually, do you feel like you should pay for your own meal? How does that go? I know it's a little bit more controversial for women,
Right?
but
I just feel like we should do whatever feels natural. Like if we're on a date, we're having a good time. If I decide to pay, I pay, but be prepared to pay for your own meal too.
Yeah.
Right. They say the person who asks the person out on a date is the one that's supposed to pay.
Which typically is how it should go. If you ask somebody out, you should pay. But I mean, in most situations, to me, it's like I don't mind going half. You know, we just spend a check.
But not the first date. Like if we're in a relationship, after a while, you don't need to pay for every meal. I want to treat you too. Like I'm very thoughtful.
You're saying as a woman. You're saying,
but as a woman, especially first date.
Okay, so Jamie, right? So your first date with a guy, he needs to pay.
I think so, depending on what it is, because I had this happen one time. We were gonna go to Japanese barbecue, and he's like, "Oh yeah, let's go to this place in Beverly Hills." And I was like, "Okay, we're ordering sake, we're ordering all this extra meats." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh," he's like doing all the works. And then me being a thoughtful person, I'm like, "Well, let me like act like I'm reaching," because it was an expensive bill. And I'm like, "Why did I do that? That was expensive."
And so you ended up having to.
I did. And I'm like, "Jamie, why'd you do that?" And I went on a second date with him, but and it was because we had great conversation.
So tell me this: what does that gesture mean to you or to the potential of the relationship if you pay first or if you don't? What does that gesture?
You can take care of me.
I think me paying my portion on the first date was me showing my effort, like my compassion, like
No, I'm saying for a man to pay for the date.
Don't date if you can't afford to date.
Oh, God.
I do not. I slightly agree.
But dating is expensive.
No.
It doesn't have to be.
For me,
there's parks.
I'm gonna think it's.
If a man said, "Hey, baby, I'm gonna take you to the park."
Yes, I love
date number one.
Yes, that is cute as hell.
You're gonna be like, "You take me to the park because you are broke."
No, that is
a little bit.
But then who gonna pay for the ice cream at the park?
Let's be transparent. Let's be transparent. If a guy took me out on a date and it was real cute and he had like did it up, I'd be like, "Oh, okay, you got creativity. We can do a lot of different things
together." But you be in the group chat talking about, "Girl, he broke."
No,
he took me to the park.
That's not true.
That's because y'all be dating these Insta chicks.
And that's what they want.
And y'all be getting and it is what they want. A lot of times men don't know what they want. Sometimes they want a woman that's like, "Oh, I'm fine and I don't do nothing," and then the next minute they mad because they don't do nothing, and it's like, well, and then they can't handle a woman who is busy because they feel inferior.
Well, like a lot of millennial men.
That's fine.
I do it every week. I do it every week. Every week.
Okay, so this is my thing. The first date for me, it doesn't really come to my mind, honestly. I know it's like a big thing, but I know for me and my person, he paid for me, but he also asked me, and then like a couple more dates after, I start paying for myself, and it wasn't like and still to this day, like I get my own meal, he gets his own meal. Like you save me money, I save money, and then we have that type of thing. So
do you think a conversation needs to happen before the date as to who should pay?
And in this generation, probably. Because back in the day, no. Men would just be like, or shit.
It was called courting. They don't even know how to spell it these days.
Oh, they don't. They don't court these days. But I think it's because there's so many strong, dynamic women. Yeah. That I think that makes it hard for them to. You guys are very independent. I know.
She's
straight.
Like, look, I don't care. Court me.
I know, but I know. Straight.
I'm so easy to court. I feel like I love effort. I love it's not that hard. They're making it harder than it needs to be. They're in their heads, and a lot of men don't want to step up to the plate and be men.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. Wait, and so the crazy part about this is that we have way more topics to go along with this. No, but we're out of time, unfortunately. Bernard, thank you so much for sticking with us. I know. Swapping of the week be getting crazy. But right, exactly. But thank you guys so much at home for watching us. Obviously, like, subscribe, share. We gotta go, but we love y'all. My name is Rocky Harris. You can find me everywhere on social media at Raquel Harris TV. BJ.
I'm Bernard David Jones. I am Bernard David Jones on Instagram and Bernard D Jones on Twitter.
Yes, and I'm Jamie Gray. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You can find me on Twitter at It's Jamie Gray, but I'm definitely on Instagram more, so you can find me at Jamie Gray, Jaimi.
You can find me on all social media platforms at I am J Lamar, and if you plan on taking me on a date, I'm not paying.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. And that's that on that.
We would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content, and be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.